which leads me to asking you, while we still have some time, um, how can we use technology to help with this integrated planning? And then maybe we could bring Larry in so that he can show us a little bit what that could look like to actually help that process and help inform people and where they are in their integrated strategic planning process.
Sure thing, Donna, and you're right. Especially as you were talking just now, I'm thinking that also adds to the planning fatigue. When people say, I'm just tired, and thinking about again all the manual handling of data and report creating and all of those kinds of things. And this adds to the planning fatigue. It also adds to assessment fatigue. You talk to faculty and the assessment people on campus, it's the same kind of problem that you can see. I think one of the things that's really important is that there are a number of tools now, and SPOL, I think, has done a really nice job developing these to assist individuals who are involved in planning with the technology to be able to move it off the desktop, move it out of a person's Excel file, and have it more easily available and more readily, purposeful, so that if you need a report, you can generate a report. You're looking at, where are the resources that were aligned to this, to this particular tactic? How are we doing on spending that down? Does that need more resource investment? You can do those kinds of reporting that's necessary. I think what ends up happening is you have people spending less time manually dealing with the data, input and all those other, not that people don't have to input data, they do, but it's a different level. But really what you want to get to is analysis and forecasting. Think about every minute you gain for analysis and forecasting when you don't have those minutes dedicated to entering data into spreadsheets. And so when you think about being able to take advantage of your expertise on campus, and they don't get sucked into basically just the data handling, and they can actually get into data analysis and the analytics that are necessary to help you make wise decisions as an institution. I think it's critical to be able to leverage the technologies that are emerging. And I think that SPOL's done a really nice job developing a number of different solutions for folks that can be really value adds for the institution as you continue to work towards integrated planning.
Now here's Larry Scorini, VP of Product, showing the highlight of SPOL's integrated planning platform.
Look, I'm obviously sitting here listening in, and I don't think there's any accident that SCUP and SPOL found each other, because ultimately what SCUP is really preaching is very much the philosophy of the technology that we have created, particularly where planning is concerned. It's centered around the idea of transparency, collaboration, alignment, and the ability to be nimble. You said it before, that is very much the philosophy of the tool that we have created. We, in the system, you can enter that cycle, that planning process cycle, at any point, whether that be at your department, and your department is creating a plan, or you've been distributed a goal or a task that needs to be accomplished. Ultimately, when you talk about it's coming from the top, it's coming from the bottom, and it's coming from sideways, that is what SPOL is designed to accommodate. So I will very quickly sort of share my screen, just kind of demonstrate again quickly what we mean by that. So ultimately, one of the things that you can start with is your goals, and those goals can be anything. Yes, a strategic plan is typically how we talk about plans and the direction and vision of an institution. So whether those be a strategic planning goals, goals associated with a district, facility plans, your plan set can exist in the system, giving visibility to your planners. That's that transparency, the ability to kind of go through and have a view of the direction that the institution is going in, prior to any plans that you may be putting together, or simply so that you can associate your plans to some area that the institution needs to accomplish. So at this point, you can create a plan, an objective, and that plan can be departmental, and that plan can ultimately feed into any goals or be connected, align to any goals that the institution has put out. So if I have a unit plan objective, something that I'm my department is trying to accomplish, we can still connect it through that visibility. We can connect it to any institutional goals, any goals that the institution is aiming towards accomplishing. Those goals can also be that planning process. I'm sorry, that unit plan objective can also align with things like finance and facilities and IT, so that that single planning process that we had can be pulled out of a system by virtue of a type or by virtue of a priority, can be pulled out of the system, so that that one planning process, that the department may be engaging in, is feeding all of the different areas that I need to be able to ask questions or pull reports out of a system. We carve our objectives into individual tasks and break them down. And it is at that level that we request financial resources, so that you can get an account by account breakdown of where our planning objectives that have now been associated and aligned with goals are being broken down account by account by the financial financial resources that are being requested in order to accomplish it. This in turn gives the institution so much intelligence about how much our plans are going to cost us, how much individual projects are going to cost us, making decisions about resource allocation in the system. So a lot of what institutions are trying to accomplish at an alignment level can be mitigated by having the proper technology to help support what may already be happening on campus, but is maybe could be more efficiently organized.